Yeah, sometimes I hate the communist apps. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. By the way, anybody who's new, who's going to be tuning into the live, for early reference, this is just a prep talk live. So we're going to be talking prepper topics, EDC IFak, EDC medical, and 3B's of prepping. Once we get some more people in here, so I'm gonna wait till we get a bigger audience and we could spread the message out to a larger scale of people. So it seems like something that you guys are interested in, prepared minded individual stuff, freedom minded, shit like that. Make sure to leave a like on the live, share it to people who you think may be like minded. Trying to build a community of more like minded individuals in here and educate more people on being a prepared citizen. Being more of an asset, less than a liability, is the mission statement here. We want to gear more people towards preparedness. All right. By the way, anybody watching, we are not in the military, nor do we claim to be. We're just a prepared citizen channel for future reference. But yeah, guys, what we talk about here on the channel is prepared citizen things like bug out bags, emergency food and water, self sustainment, topics revolving around homesteading, comms, communications, radio, emergency radios, things like that. We were just live on TikTok here a second ago, but they gave us the boot because they said there was firearms and dangerous activities or something like that, even though there wasn't one single weapon shown. I'm pretty sure it was a bunch of snowflakes who were reported. But yeah, if you're a snowflake, this isn't uh, this isn't the place for you. What's up, do you? What's up, Mix? What's up, Joe, bro? Welcome to the live, man. Nice Chad pick. Camping, camping would be nice right now. Now we're just chilling, man. Not camping out right now. One second, y'all. One second. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. I'm back. I'm right here. Shout out, sub Terminator. Shout out Terminator Cam. Do you go camping? Yes, I go camping, man. I like to do a rough neck type of camping. I go with just a poncho and a poncho liner and maybe a sleeping pad. Jay Lincoln. I'm not sure, man. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this live, I'm not too many of you were able to hear it. I'm not in the military, nor do I claim to be. I'm not a veteran. I'm just a prepared citizen. We talk about preparedness here. Mm. Best MRE you had have to be chicken burrito bowl, hands down. How many subscribers do you need to go live? I'm not sure, man. Yeah, I'm not too sure. My channel kind of blew up out of nowhere by accident, sorta, kind of, sorta. But yeah, I think you need. I don't even know, honestly. I think you may be able to go live with like 1,000 subscribers, but YouTube kind of has been giving people some like favoritism. Bro, I'm in fucking Poland. How is that showing up for me as recommendation? Oh, my bad, man. I don't know. They're probably trying to advertise some more to you for whatever reason, even though that's not what we talk about here. I mean, we talk about defensive capabilities, but I'm not nowhere near what I say. I'm any type of warmonger or anybody that promotes anything like that. Yeah, you got the boot, man. Congratulations. Uh, They saying you never been in a real war. I haven't been in a real war. That didn't claim to be in a war. This isn't like a warmongering, talking about, like, this isn't like a war clips channel. I mean, sort of, kind of. I mean, I've posted clips of some war, some people who have been in war, I guess you could say, but that's not my mission here. I just talk to more prepared citizens and everyday citizens and try to gear them towards preparedness. Yeah. I won't even sit here and try to lie to nobody and play it like I've been in war. I'd be dumb if I tried. Yeah. Nothing, no cool guy, nothing going on. I'm just rocking my plate carrier just for the desensitizing factor. Are you booted? How can we be prepared citizens? I mean, it's very simple, man. Just look at what's going on around you. Start to consider the events that are taking place in the world and see how you could position yourself to be least affected. You're never going to be fully 0% affected by what goes on, but there's ways you could gear yourself to be more ready to take the brunt of an impact easier than majority of Americans. What is your most important EDC? My most important EDC is going to be my medical. I think EDC medical is the most important priority that people should focus on, having a good IFak and knowing how to use it. And I think you should have some more stuff in there that is geared towards helping other people as well. So have enough stuff to help yourself if you need first aid, but also have some extra so you can apply first aid to somebody if they need it, God forbid. I think that's very important. Just being a good citizen, somebody who with good moral character. Yeah, I did a video recently on my EDC bag, my medical bag, EDC medical. It's like my most recent video. If you want to check it out, I did like a whole deep dive, showed all the components in detail, talked about what they're used for and stuff like that. So I'll give you like a good starter or refresher. I think it'd be highly valuable to anybody who considers themselves a prepared-minded individual out there. Self-sustaining food sources, number one. I mean, there's a lot of self-sustaining food sources, man. The best way to have a self-sustaining food source would be to have a homestead. That's the most like realistically honest self-sustaining food source. 300 blackout the best round. I don't know about that, man. Doesn't have the best availability nor pricing. There's a lot more rounds with better ballistic capabilities as well out at distance. But it's not a bad round for its uses and capabilities. Yeah, man, I'm just trying to help people out there who are willing to listen. I know there's a lot of ignorant people and a lot of judgmental people who watch, but that's what it is. It comes with the territory of internet stuff. So it is what it is. But if I could educate one or two people out there and I could possibly help another family be more prepared and set somebody on the track of being more like-minded and being more of an asset to them and their people. I'll show you guys a quick like sneak peek of my med bag real quick, my EDC bag. So right here, it's just a little, I'm sure you guys have seen these before. It's just a little cheap Highland tactical bag. So I think someone actually gave this to me. But you guys could get these, you guys could get these on the fucking, you guys could get these on Amazon, or I think they sell these at Ross, but you could get these for really cheap. And essentially, this is just a cheap fanny pack / shoulder bag. I wear it as like a little shoulder strap bag. Wear it over my shoulder, and I keep all my EDC medical in here. Right now, I had some other stuff in there. I had some cigars in there, so don't mind that. But yeah, essentially, that's what I keep in there at all times, plus some reloads. And yeah, so I keep some reloads to fix a malfunction, God forbid. Some more gauze, some of the bleed stop packets that you guys have seen at Walmart. A tourniquet with some more gauze in there, wrapped inside of a just a little freezer bag, wrapped inside a rubber band. And then this is like the mini IFAK. I got combat gauze right here, wound packing gauze right here, a little rolled piece of gauze, a marker to mark the tourniquet, a tourniquet. Um, Back there, you can't really see it, but got some chest seals. And then behind the gauze, combat gauze, I got some gloves, pressure dressing, and a little boo-boo kit down there, like another piece of rolled gauze, some medical tape, and some band-aids, just in case I get like a small cut or laceration and I don't need no wound packing gauze or tourniquet. Yeah, but that's my med bag. I do like a deep dive cover of what's inside of it for you guys if you're interested in that. So I think it's highly important that every prepared citizen or someone who just cares about keeping their blood in their body has on them, because you are your first responder. Regardless of what anyone tells you about firearms or self-sufficiency, preparedness, I may have butchered that sufficient part, but regardless of whatever anyone tells you about being a prepared citizen, you are your number one first responder. And I've seen this by firsthand accounts. Gratefully, nothing had to be done, but if something happens, you are going to be your first responder, regardless of if it's defensive capabilities or if it's medical. If a family member gets a life or death injury, or if their life is at risk due to a threat that's right there, and emergency services are not going to be there in time. You could continue on, cult leader. You sound like a victim. But yeah, guys, everybody who's watching, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys are finding this information valuable. I got a lot more videos and short clips and stuff on my channel that goes into depth of these subjects. And I also did a long form video recently, taking everything out of that medical bag and talking about what the components are used for and all of that. So, but yeah, if you're here just to say some negative snowflake bullshit, you're just gonna get booted. So beware. But and so essentially, whoever asked before, I don't know if you're still watching, but that's what I think is the most important priority for EDC, for a prepared citizen, or even your everyday citizen. I think everybody should have an IFak or some type of EDC medical. I got them everywhere. And then after that, I think you should also have some defensive capabilities. So have some way, if you're going to have a way to make holes, have a way to plug holes, essentially, is what they say in the gun community. But yeah, another most important EDC prep that I think is going to be physical fitness. A lot of people don't like to focus on that. It's being physically fit, having some good endurance and cardio, taking care of your body and taking care of your own physical health will get you a long way. But that's a topic for another day. A lot of people don't like to talk about that. Rogers, appreciate it, man. How do you know all of this? I don't know, man. I just focus on stuff that I probably shouldn't focus on as much as I do. But I just talk to other people in my community. I learn from people who know more than me, essentially. Learn from some old crusty vets and some old guys that are in my community that know more, that were able to educate, and I was able to educate by spreading the word. But nah, no, I'm not in the military. This is just a prepper channel, so if you guys are aware of what preppers are, I'm sure you guys have heard of the show Doomsday Preppers or Saw All the Preppers on YouTube. That's what we do here. Yeah, so we just talk about preparedness. Official Rivera. Yeah, man, you're definitely right. I mean, I'm always trying to be a student every day, so anything I can learn is always valuable. But yeah, guys, we just talk about preparedness on this channel. We try to gear more everyday citizens into being prepared citizens and create a community of more like-minded individuals. I want more people to be an asset, less than a liability. God forbid something happens where their people need them, where they need to be part of their tribe, someone valuable in a chaotic situation. And not everybody has to be. Everybody could have different roles for whatever the situation. But I think there's certain basic things that everybody should know. Like there's certain like IFAKs and individual first aid kits, knowing how to use them and knowing all the components and what they're used for, I think is important for anybody. I think just majority of Americans, I think most of the population should have that. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I talk about the topic sometimes, but I don't really worry about nukes too much here on this channel. It's not really. I mean, I kind of prepare for that situation as it can be prepared for. But if you're in the direct blast of something like that, I mean, all you can do is pray at that point. I mean, there is ways to survive though. I know if you're far enough out from like the fallout zone or the direct impact, yeah, anybody who's directly right there is not going to be able to do much for themselves. We try to prepare for the more practical, common scenarios, man. So I don't really prepare for like don't I won't say I don't prepare for it, but I don't really prepare for like the things that are so extreme that people like to talk about as the crazy scenarios. I'd like to prepare for the practical scenarios, and in doing so, I could prepare myself more for things that are unlikely. That is very true, Left Hook. It's one of my favorite quotes. Mm. Rivera, that's what's up, man. I'm glad you were able to make it back. But yeah, guys, essentially what we talk about here is preparedness for the everyday citizen. We talk about practical preparedness, but we also talk about preparedness to the extremes, such as being prepared for a grid down scenario, civil or societal collapse, or a potential EMP situation. Like I said, if you're going to join and say some snowflake, un, unproductive things, I'm not going to listen, and I'm just going to give you the boot. So I mean, you could say some funny stuff at first. It's fine. I'll take a joke. But if you're being purposely disrespectful and not applying anything that's useful to the crowd, you're just going to be kicked. Where are you? What state? I'm on the West Coast, man. What are you trying to get at, Left Hook? Like I said, I'm fine if someone's throwing some jokes around, but I'm not going to take like purposeful disrespect and people not applying anything useful to the group's conversation. A lot of people like to come in here and say things that are useless, just immaturity. I don't got time for it. All scavenging. I mean, some people are going to be scavenging. I wouldn't be part of a scavenger group. But unfortunately, there will be a lot of scavengers, and a lot of them are going to get downed within the first week of scavenging. A lot of them will make it and cause a lot of undue harm to innocent people. But it's is what it is. EDC. I think EDC. Your number one EDC. EDCs. I think your number one EDC should be a good medical bag. Everybody should have some good medical and good training to go along with it. Yep. I'll check them out, man. I'll be able to go back through the chat and look at this for reference. Sui. Nah, this is a channel for prepared citizens, just so you're aware. Anybody who's watching, this is a strictly civilian ran page, and we talk about preparedness for your everyday citizen, trying to gear them into being a prepared citizen. You don't, yeah. I mean, I think that you're definitely right, Rivera. Left hook. Yeah, I know about red flag laws, man. What about them? I don't agree with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I've heard of that. A family member could do the same thing. Teachers and coworkers could also do that if you have red flag laws that are put in place wherever you reside. Yeah, they're shitty. Exactly. If you're not fit, you're gonna die. That was my number one key points in my priority for the Gorilla Man Minute Fighter. I think everybody should be fit or have some good level of fitness if you want to consider yourself an asset. So you think you and me specifically will live long enough for some of this to even happen? Landon, I don't know what you're talking. I didn't say anything specific was going to happen. Like I was telling you earlier, I don't know if you're the one who was asking about the nuclear questions or what do I prepare for, but I don't prepare for doomsday. I prepare for Tuesday, man. And within preparing for Tuesday, by preparing every Tuesday and throughout the week, I'll be prepared for most chaotic situations, though I'm not anticipating them. And if they do happen, they happen. I mean, we're all guaranteed an expiration date regardless. So I'm not too worried about that. But it's just really to perpetuate normalcy for you and your people, you know? Yeah, I'm not worried about anybody taking all of the guns. I think anybody who is truly worried about that has a false perception of how things will be done. Now, do I think they have an agenda to disarm the populace? Sure. Do I think it'll ever be successful in this country? No. It's impossible. Literally, how you said, there's too many. With the amount of firearms that are in this country, we outarm and outgun the entire police force and the military when it comes to small arms. Now, when it comes to things like explosives and stuff like that, jets, of course, they have more firepower in that arena. But that's another conversation for another day. That's what I talked about in my Gorilla Fighter Minuteman video. Left hook, where are you getting at, man? I'm kind of confused in your translation on what you're trying to insinuate. He said C4 should be legal. I'm not against that. I mean, I'm not going to say too much on here. uh, yeah, exactly, Poncho Docs. Exactly. That's why I just mentioned the guerrilla fighters. Yeah. So, because like, I mean, a lot of people don't may not remember this, but I remember this clear as day when Brandon tried to insinuate that the U.S. military has F-15s and we don't. which he may be correct, but that doesn't take the fight out of us. Like like Poncho just said, Vietnam, Afghanistan. You can't conquer a people if you slaughter them all, you know? So in order to conquer some percentage of them, you have to do it manually. And if they're not willing to be oppressed, then you're going to have a problem on your hands. You're not the fittest. Yeah, man. If you got to focus on your fitness, do it now, man. The only best time to work on your physical health and your fitness is today. You could start by just like doing small ruck marches or just going on small walks on a cardio in a treadmill or whatever. I mean, there's multiple endless ways to get fit, but it's up to you, man. I would highly consider it, though. I would take it up as something of importance. How should a prepared citizen react to a red flag law? A prepared citizen should not involve themselves. You shouldn't be surrounded by people who are a threat like that, should I say? And that's that. You can only mitigate that so much to an extent, but that's part of being prepared, man. This whole damn world is going left. I hear you, Cruz. It's some bullshit. Not gonna lie, 99% of military members wouldn't act on any orders. Eh, I don't know how much I agree with that. I think that statement is partly true, but I think there's a lot of military members out there who are going to act on orders, along with people in the police force who are going to act on orders. And I think there's people who are going to be part of a rebellion and rebellious. But it's not going to be, like I said before, history repeats itself. When the revolution happened, it was only 3% of everybody in the entire country. So that's why they were known as the 3%ers, the militia, the Minutemen. The people who equaled the militia and the Minutemen were only 3% of the entire populace at that time. At that time, I just talked with like a horrible ass list. At that time, 3% of them, that was it. Cruz, yeah, man. I mean, I agree with you. I definitely think like when people see me in a plate carrier and their butt hurt and they're triggered, for one, they're obviously some type of snowflake liberal, or they're fully like bowed down to the agenda of Big Daddy government because they clearly have a problem with a citizen being geared up and prepared for sort of situations that make them feel uncomfortable. You know, don't start spamming in the chat, man. I never felt like you were judging me, Cruz. I'd like to see that, Bennett. I'd honestly like to see that. That'd be an impressive shot. So you're anti-government. I'm anti-tyrannical government. I'm anti-overreaching government. Am I anti-government that is willing to stand up for the Constitution and stand up for the people's rights as we the people? No, but I am not. I'm not with overreaching tyrannical government. Trust me, man. It's a that is currently the objective. Yeah, I could see how it could be off-putting, but when you start to say things like, or when you start to obviously project your view as somebody who thinks that plate carriers are only meant for somebody who's in the military, part of the military industrial complex, then you obviously have something against citizens being trained up, in my opinion. You seem like you signed an oath that you don't really know what it's supporting. And you like unwillingly you signed an oath to support the government in your head, but you're really meant to support the people, we the people. And it is what it is. I mean, I respect service members. I know people who are in the military currently active duty, and I got family members who are in the military. So I mean, I understand, and I think we do need a military. But at the same time, if you're in the military, you got to understand the purpose of the civilians and the citizens as well. By the way, I thought you. Yeah, man. I mean, if I seen somebody kitted out, depending on where I seen them, I mean, I would be aware. I wouldn't necessarily be scared though. But it also like in today's world, I would definitely be aware and be ready. It depends on the scenario though and where it's at. If it's like in a mall or like in a highly populated area that they have no place being kitted out, I'm gone. I'm not gonna be there. I'll I'll, I'll notify the first responders, and I'm gonna get me and my people away from that situation. But that's not what we do here. I don't walk around to parks and public areas or anything like that. I may go to like wooded, like in the woods or like a national park like this, but no. Obviously, we're not in no suburban area. Just look at me and my kid. Like, no, man. Left hook. No, I was not a police officer, nor am I. Nah, man, that'd be cool though. I wish I did know Captain Price. What are you? I don't know. What do you perceive me to be? I'm just a prepared citizen here, trying to spread the word to more like-minded individuals. Yeah, I'm a civilian, hence prepared citizen. Yeah, that's essentially the mission here, guys. I want to gear more people into being a prepared citizen and being more of an asset to them and their people, less than a liability. God forbid something does happen, whatever it may be. It could be your own personal SHTF scenario. It doesn't have to be something globally or nationwide. It could be something that only affects you personally or within your local area or even your neighborhood. But being a prepared citizen, you provide value to your immediate family and people around you. Yeah, man. To answer your question, Landon, yes, I do. Um, Darren, it's all right, man. I mean, everybody has their own purpose and their own mission. You could still provide value in other ways. I wasn't in the military. If you were wondering, if you're watching, if you possibly perceive me as a service member, I'm not in the military, and I'm not a vet, nor did I ever serve any government entity. I'm just a prepared citizen. Yeah, I believe every able-bodied citizen, if you're somewhere in the military age fighting male, even if you're not a male, I mean, this goes to women out there who want to participate as well. And I think more women should be involved because, I mean, for reasons, obviously. But yeah, if you're in, if you're an able-bodied citizen, you should take it up as your responsibility to be a prepared citizen, train, medical, defensive capabilities, and stay physically fit. My mission is to stay the fuck alive. Man, I hear that. I hear that, man. I think that's everybody's mission. I mean, anybody who's sane. Boot. I'm not a boot, but you could get the boot. Yeah, I don't know why I was just live on TikTok here earlier. If you guys aren't aware, I do a TikTok. I run a TikTok page as well where I go live and post tips and trick for preparedness on there. And I guess I got reported by some snowflakes who were bothered by a plate carrier. So it was like, fuck them. I'm just gonna come to YouTube. I think I may get the appeal. Like last time I appealed it, it got approved because obviously they reported me for weapons and dangerous activities when there was nothing being dangerous done. But I guess me talking like this is dangerous to the snowflakes. What mags you running? Just P mags, man. P mags. P mags. Yeah. I'll give you a timeout. What's up? I don't want to butcher your name, so I'm saying welcome to the live, Argus. Yeah. Anybody who's wondering, this is just like a quick response kit. So I just got a 3 magazine placard on the front, tourniquet right here, IFak, um, magazine, and a magazine behind the IFak. So I got 2 mags right there, and then 3 up front. So a total of 5 plus 1. So a total of 6, I guess, including the one in the gun. Stock up beans and rice, exactly. Best method to stock up beans and rice, in um, my honest opinion, is going to be the 5 gallon bucket method. And there's even, you could store in smaller increments, but I think doing the 5 gallon bucket is the best start. That way you could get a bulk supply, and it's instantly going to be shelf stable for 30 years plus. What tourniquet? Better not have a knockoff. Nah, man, Gen 7 cats only. I'm thinking about getting a knockoff, though, to train with and make a video on why you shouldn't get them. I might do that just to like shit on the fake tourniquets. Because I tell people, do not buy your tourniquets from Amazon. Don't buy any tourniquets from Amazon. Even if it says it's a Gen 7 cat tourniquet, go to a reputable dealer. It doesn't have to be the North American Rescue website, but go at least to like Premier Body Armor, Refuge Medical, or the North American Rescue site. Like there's a bunch of reputable dealers. Also, Skinny Medic. He's another YouTuber. He has his own website where he sells medical gear, such as IFAKs and all of that. Mr. Wilson, I'll cover the 5 gallon bucket. I'll cover the 5 gallon bucket method here in just a second. I'm sorry you feel that way, Circly. I mean, you don't understand prepared citizens then, and you're brainwashed by the left liberal media. Okay, so Mr. Wilson, the 5 gallon bucket food method is you get a 5 gallon bucket, some type of, it doesn't have to be food grade, but I usually just get white buckets just so I know which buckets are identified as the food buckets versus like a Home Depot or Lowe's bucket, but you could use those. What you want to do is get a 5 gallon bucket, get enough dry goods that fills the bucket up to the top. So, like for a 5 gallon bucket full of rice, it's 35 pounds. For a 5 gallon bucket full of pinto beans, it's 36 pounds. And then what you want to do is you want to get a 5 gallon Mylar bag that lines the 5-gallon bucket. And essentially, what you're going to do is fill up that Mylar bag with it filled inside the bucket, shake it around, get it all filled up in there good, and then you're going to put some oxygen absorbers in there. There's a whole like math to it. Once you do it, you'll understand. But there's a chart when you order the Mylar bags, or if you watch a YouTube video or look it up, you'll learn a chart that tells you the amount of cc's you want to put for your Mylar bag, depending on what food you're storing in there per 5-gallon bucket. Rob Marr, no, I'm not security. Just prepared citizen here. I'm a civilian. Well, I mean, security doesn't make you not a civilian, but yeah, I'm just a prepared citizen, man. A fake tourniquet will fail. Don't doubt it won't. That's why I run Gen 7 Cats. I don't rock any fake tourniquets. All the medical I use is either from North American Rescue or other reputable dealers. And if it's not something from North American Rescue or someone that's reputable, it's something that's cheap, like medical tape or like a little roll of gauze for like a boo-boo, like a little laceration or something. Let me check out what else was said in here. The flag behind me, if you're still watching, Mac, it's called Blackbeard's flag. See? There's a patch that it comes from a group called Forward Observations Group. They popularized the patch, but it's originally just called Blackbeard's flag. A cruise, I would, man. I was supposed to, thinking about visiting Tennessee here soon. But let's see, I might be heading out to Tennessee this weekend or something. Fuck around and find out, yeah. That'd be a cool patch. Okay, do I keep the food in its original packaging? I did a video on it on my channel. So if you want to, Mr. Wilson, go on and check out my YouTube shorts, or yeah, since you're already on YouTube, just check out my YouTube shorts, and you could see, you'll find the 5-gallon food bucket or the long-term food storage video. You'll see me sitting next to some white buckets showing the tutorial, and I go in full detail on how to do it. And that's just in a short. I might make a more long form video in the future, like a 5 to 10 minute video about it. But I just did it short to show some people real quick. You part of a club? I wouldn't call it a club, man. I'm just part of a community. Cameron B. No, I was not. I'm just a prepared citizen here. You ride a bike? You mean like a bicycle or like a motorcycle? Yeah, I got this cool patch the other day that says "You never go full retard." If any of you guys ever watched Tropic Thunder, I was like one of the, to me that was like one of the better like comedy war movies. It's just like a great parody of Vietnam. Even though Vietnam isn't like not like a joke and nothing to be like disrespect. I mean, my grandpa was in Vietnam, but I just like that movie for the comedic value of it. You ever go fully semi-auto? He said fake ass Marine. I'm pretty sure somebody who was trying to play a Marine wouldn't be wearing multicam. Watched it on deployments. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like anybody, like most guys, I think fuck with Tropic Thunder. That's just a classic. I know it probably wouldn't make it in today's like a woke agenda of Hollywood, but back then that was that was a dope movie. I mean, it would still be a dope movie today. It just wouldn't make it today, probably. The fool from Percy Jackson. That's where I heard of him first. I forgot. I don't know that actor's name, but I know who you're talking about, Bobby B. Hold on, I'm gonna show you guys the patch real quick. Bear with me. This is the patch right here. I don't know if it's reversed for you guys, but it's Robert Downey Jr. and there's a little Tropic Thunder character saying the "You never go full retard" saying. Uh, what's the new Civil War movie about? I think it's about a civil war, man. I think it's right in the name. It's Civil War in America. Yeah, but yeah, almost dropped it. It's a cool little patch. Got some cool little morale patch. Got some comedic value. Yeah, I'd be down, man. I'm thinking about visiting Texas. It's the right way, not inverted. All right, that's good. Yeah, I also got this patch. So anybody who was wondering, I don't know if you're still watching or whatever. I'm sure some of you guys already know this based off of my audience and who's watching. But right here, this is the little patch. This is the original Blackbeard's flag. I just find this one to be kind of cringe since everybody has this on their carrier or some form of their kit. So I just got this one because I like this flag more. But that's what this is, the original flag. That flag represents this patch originally from Forward Observations Group. I don't know if they were like the founders of that design or whatever. Pretty sure they weren't, but they popularized it. But I'm not sure, so I may have the whole story confused. But I know, like within the gun community and tactical bros, whatever you want to call them, that flag or that patch became like heavily popularized, but it just became kind of cringe. Boogie Boys. You talking about the Boog? I mean, I'm aware of the Boog Boys. I'm not part of nothing like that, but I'm not really for I'm not for them, but I'm not against them. Should I say? Yeah. Opinion on soft armor uh, versus hard plates. I think soft armor has its place and hard armor has its place. But if you're expecting something that's like a really kinetic event, or like if you're expecting an exchange of rifle ammunition, don't wear any soft armor unless you're just wearing it as a underneath backer of your hard plates or something like that. Like you could double up on it, but if you're expecting rifle fire, soft armor is useless. If you're just expecting like some type of if you want some type of bulletproof capabilities in a civilian setting, then I would say soft armor isn't a bad option. But I I wouldn't it wouldn't be my first option because like I said, soft armor could be defeated with any rifle ammunition. There's even some handgun ammo that could defeat soft armor nowadays. So if you get the right amount of feet per second, you're done. Cover all day over armor. What? What are you trying to say, Bobby? Pool worker. I'm kind of here with you on the same thought process, man. Even though I still do believe the government holds a great threat um, to our republic and our constitutional rights. I I definitely see the possibility of the American people being their own threat to each other. Sadly, that's why I think it's a very important thing to build community because strength is in numbers. Try to find more like-minded individuals. Go out and train with them. Have the conversations. Do comm tests. Go out and do physical fitness with you guys. Do hikes. Do ruck marches. All that. Whatever you can do to build your community and further strengthen it. I mean, now's the time. How does soft armor? Soft armor will stop 9mm fine. Soft armor is supposedly supposed to be rated like most soft armor. That's there's soft. There's some soft armor that if I believe that's not rated for 44 mag, but most soft armor is rated from anywhere from 9mm to 44 Magnum. Though if you get hit with the 44 Magnum wearing soft armor, you're still going to be a casualty, should I say. Yeah, if 44 Magnum hits you with soft armor, it's going to cave something in. What's your opinion on starting a compound with a close community? Um, it depends on how you go about it. If you go about it the right way and it's something that's kind of like family driven and more like oriented to living regular everyday life with each other and not something that has to become militarized and like only thought of as a militia group, it could possibly be successful. But I think if you guys aren't doing everyday life with each other, like obviously you don't have to like do everything every day with each other, but just have like weekly meetings, go out and have dinner with the families and stuff, then yeah, that could be fine. That could be a good, healthy thing to build a community like that. But I don't it depends on how you go about that. Um, left hook. You don't talk too much about what, man? Sorry if I disappeared for a second, guys. I'm back. Okay, but do you think if SHTF? I'm not sure, man. Like I said, I don't try to do too many predictions. I feel like doing predictions could lead to fear mongering and getting people to have a false perception of what reality even is. I just want people to be prepared. Like I said, I don't prepare for doomsday. I try to prepare for Tuesday, and within doing so, we could prepare for the more unlikely scenarios. But I can't really make any predictions because anything could go down anyway, and I don't want somebody to think something's going to go down some certain way because what they heard from me, and then they go down a rabbit hole or something. So you're anti-left. What about far right? Um, I don't really like to use those labels too much, man. But yeah, I'm not really for the left. But I feel like those labels are more meant to divide our people. Even though we're already divided, though, there's not going to be too much uniting when it comes to certain people. To be real, though, I don't want to lose too much hope and act like people can't stick together. There's a lot of people who are giving in too much to the psyop already, and yeah, it just is what it is at that point. But I try not to alienate my fellow Americans by left or right. If it came down to that, then it came down to that. I don't like to talk about that too much when it like because people based off of their viewpoints, I think some people will wake up, but by the time they wake up to certain things, it'll be too late, unfortunately. And a lot of those people I'm not going to want around me whatsoever because they're going to be a threat to themselves and other people, obviously. But there will be some mercy to be given to some individuals, and then some individuals you're going to just want to stay away from. Are hollow points powerful enough to? What the fuck? Oh my god! I should have caught that one. uh, exactly. That's exactly what I think. Some dude. I think that's a good way to think about it. People are too caught in being a hive mind, like a hive mind thought process, which could be very unhealthy. It almost you start thinking it's like a cult mentality, and then things could become uh, start to get blurry. You don't really know what you're supporting at that point because you're just standing for something just because. Do you? uh, nah, man. I appreciate that, Malik. I try to be, man. I try to be open minded. Like I said, I don't want to fall. Uh, Turn the freaking frogs gay. What did he say? I forget. I know what you're referencing. You're referencing the Alex Jones thing. Um, there's estrogen in the water or something like that. Yeah. All right, Joseph. I'll see you, man. Have a good night. They're turning the freaking frogs gay. Oh yeah. Alex Jones is funny though. He says some crazy stuff sometimes, and then I think he says some legitimate things also. I think he's kind of a wild card, but that's why he's fun to watch. But I don't take everything he says with like as like the gospel. You think I'm a far right mascot? Is that what you're saying? I mean, that's fine. I mean, you could be blunt. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, that's why I said Alex Jones says some off the wall things. That's why I was saying he's a wild card, and I don't really take everything he says as the gospel. I don't listen to most things he says. Honestly, I can't remember like six things that he said in the last 5 to 10 years because I don't pay attention to him too much. I'm aware of who he is, but he's not a source of information that I follow. Though I've heard some things that he said that kind of checked out to make some sense. But like I said, you got to have some type of discernment. uh, yeah, I think they actually. I think there was some actual like scientific tests done where frogs were literally turning gay, like frogs were becoming like having high values of estrogen. So I mean, that's not turning gay literally. Obviously, that's not the meaning. It doesn't have the same definitions to it. But I get what he was saying. There was some type of stuff, some backwash coming off based off of the in the sewage system. Just kind of fruity frogs. If you weren't careful, the media will have. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I said, he said some things that make sense and possibly are factual, and then he said some off the wall shit. So have some discernment. Don't just listen to what somebody says. It goes back to not having a cult mentality. Don't just follow things with a hive mind. I mean, yeah, left hook. I mean, I think that just goes to show reality is far more absurd than we could imagine. I think if we really knew what was going on behind whatever's going on, there'd be a lot more. I don't know what there would be a lot more of. I know a lot of people would have a lot of problems with living in that reality. Put it that way. There would be a lot of unknowns and a lot of chaotic situations. Yeah, exactly. That's the quote I was looking for. Truth is stranger than fiction, but our truth is fucked up. But I think everybody's truth is a little fucked up when it comes to the history of their countries and empires. I think all empires had a little bit of corruption when it comes to what they did to conquer. Sadly, I think that's just the part of like human nature and how things have gone throughout history. Unfortunately, but America's another story. All right, Bobby B. I'll see you later, man. Appreciate it. That's why I don't support the U.S. government, but I still stand for and support the American people because I know there's good American citizens, you know, and I know there may be maybe one or few decent, possibly um, good moral character politicians, maybe, but most American citizens out there, they're still good American citizens. Screaming the mic will give you 200. I'm good, man. I tell the government looks at dystopian fiction and takes notes. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, that's why I'm just trying to build community and meet more like-minded individuals as much as we can right now. Build out a community and train up, be ready for certain things, buy in on certain projects together, make it easier to be prepared as a group. Left hook. I'm willing to hear what you got to say. I mean, a range day's worth of ammo. I hear that, man. It's not worth it though. I got range days worth of ammo whenever I want to go shooting. Yeah, I don't know. I can't agree with the left at all at this point. Like I'm willing to have the conversations and not be like standoffish to having a cordial adult conversation, right? But I'm not going to sit here and act like I support their values or am willing to embrace them whatsoever. Like I'm not going to act like it's okay to indoctrinate children on what they're trying to do. So far, I've wasted about 500 grand in beans. I mean, I'm hoping that's sarcasm. I mean, if it's not, then you're probably more prepared than like most of the globe. Shit, if you wasted 500 grands on beans, what are you watching my live for? uh, uh, yeah, I appreciate it. I try to just get the information out there, Ryan. I just want to educate people on things that I've been educated on, pass on the word, and try to create more like-minded individuals, people who could be into preparedness. Are you Vietnamese? No, man. I'm not Vietnamese. I've been told though I kind of look Asian sometimes. Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm saying I still have sympathy, and I'm still willing to have the conversation with some people on the left because I know some people have different values and different beliefs than me, and they're still not fully against having their rights and their freedoms as well. I don't think anybody should be stripped of their rights nor freedoms. But I think some people just need to be educated when it comes to realizing the country they're dragging the country towards by supporting certain individuals. But at the same time, I don't really think there's too many politicians on either side, sadly to say, who are really for we the people. Knife on plate carrier? Nah, man, I don't rock a knife on the plate carrier. Yeah, I mean, you can. It's just hard to. Depends on the individual you're having the conversation with. But yeah, there's definitely some people out there who are not willing to have the civil conversations that are needed. Yeah, I get death threats here and there just for doing what I do now. I mean, and it is what it is. It's okay. It's an important mission on what I'm doing and gearing people towards preparedness. So I'm fine with that. I feel like if people are hating on me and have a problem with me that much, I must be doing something right. So I don't know what it is, but some people just have a problem with prepared citizens or the fact that they didn't take it up as their responsibility to do the same. So they want to send you threats to your life or threats about how just all crazy types of shit. But it's wild because those are the same people to say that you're the crazy one and that there's something wrong with teaching people this type of thing. Yeah, I'm already knowing Cruz, OPSEC, smart. I wouldn't advise you to say too much. Exactly. And people try to. I mean, yeah, it's just crazy, man. Some folks just want to be left alone, grow their stuff on their property, have their animals live self sufficiently, and just be in peace with their family. But the government doesn't want to allow that. Yeah, I try not to block people until they start getting like kind of weird with things they say. Some people like say like really odd things, and I just feels not right to have the conversations with them at that point. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can make some chili with the beans. I hear you, man. That would be a smart idea. All right, Ryan, man. You have a good one. I'll have some more videos coming out here shortly, so make sure to stand by and watch out for the channel. I'll have some more prepared citizen topics to talk about. I'm currently making a range on one of my private properties. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Blackbeard Frameworks. Hawaiian. No, I'm not Hawaiian, man. What? What are you saying, Cruz? You like the gun collector, which has one in the background? Yeah, that's wild. People on the internet are weird, man. I mean, the internet. I mean, that goes without being said. People in real life are weird, but people on the internet get really weird. Underground range. That sounds like that sounds like a fun time. I mean, it sounds like a little uh, like it'd be concussive inside, but it'd be cool to run some pistol drills in there. Yeah, sometimes I'll have some people, especially on TikTok. I don't know why. I mean, I know there's toxic people in every community on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, on the internet, regardless of where you're at. But like, it seems like more on TikTok, there's way more like toxic liberal agenda being pushed, and I mean that goes without being said, probably because it's ran by communist people, and I feel like it's just a leftist. Like I feel like a lot of leftists are on that app, based off of the interactions I get. I need an army of surfing minions. Man, I'd be down to come surf. You'd have to show me some things because I have no idea what I'd be doing, but I'd be down to learn. Yeah, man. I mean, some dude, if you got the property for it, I'll definitely invest in something like that. If you got the property and you got the budget for it right now. Me personally, I don't I don't really go by the mentality of having a bunker. I rather live above ground and be prepared for things. But for certain scenarios, I don't think a bunker is a bad idea. Um, it all depends though. I kind of think a bunker could be a good idea, but could also be a really big coffin if enough people find out where that is and decide to come smoke you out or flood you or whatever it may be. Everyone dressed as minions and go surf. That would be entertaining. Have any of you guys watching ever heard of that one story where the dude from he's part of the Imperial Army or something like that, if I'm correct? It was during like World War II, or I might be butchering the time frame, but it was like World War II or World War One. This Japanese soldier had hidden in the jungle for like decades, thinking the war was still going on, and he was still wearing his battle fatigues. Like he was wearing his whole kit and everything when they found him. And this dude was in the woods for like 20 years. And you guys ever heard of that? That was like one of the craziest things. Like I was real thinking Loki under a shed or something. I mean, yeah, you could do it, man. Like I said, if you got the budget and the infrastructure to do it, why not? I don't think it would be a bad idea. Yeah, I forgot what the Japanese dude's name was. He was some Japanese soldier, and he had hid in the woods or somewhere in the jungle, thinking the war was still going on for like 20 plus years or something like that. And I don't even know how he survived. I think he was eating bugs or something, like eating just random little wildlife, snakes and shit like that. But he survived, and they found him, and he was like still wearing everything. Opinion on North Carolina? What do you mean? Like opinion on North Carolina as a state to live in, or just my thoughts on it? I mean, my thoughts personally, based off of my beliefs and my things I value within culture, I like the southern states more. I mean, I don't confuse anything. I know the history of them, and I know they were slave states. So you're not gonna throw that at me without me knowing all that shit. But no, I like the history and the culture of the southern states more. I think they respect America's values, and I like the people there more and how they interact with people like me. I could tell y'all a story of a whole platoon in Iraq getting wiped out. You were in a you were deployed in Iraq, Bennett. Or just like a story you heard or something. I mean, shit, if you wanna talk about the story, you could type it in here or interact with it. Yeah, I think with like the GWAT, like the Global War on Terror. So if you guys aren't aware what that is, I think all of us know at least like one or two people who were in Afghanistan or Iraq, just based off of that era alone. I mean, a lot of stuff I learned was from GWAT veterans that have taught me stuff. Had it in a little 3-story mud hut. You got the little shit brick house. Damn, that fool lived a long time. Yeah, he had some heart. He survived in the woods for 20 years and still lived to 91. You said there was a 500-pound bomb on a pressure plate in a 3-story Iraqi mud hut. You said it took out 25 guys. Damn. I'll cover that in a second, Cruz. Yeah, that's wild. I've heard some similar stories to that. I mean, but 25 guys is that's insane. This flag right here is known as Blackbeard's flag. So it says no quarter. I don't know if you can read it. It might be reversed for you, but for me it's reversed. I can't tell if you can see it. But yeah, it says no quarter. It's just Blackbeard's flag, and it essentially it was kind of like a little hyped up flag within the gun community. It has the different original design. This is just a reiteration of it, but was originally popularized by Forward Observations Group. Yeah, that is wild, man. Yeah, yeah. It's just Blackbeard's flag. It's a different design of it. Some people, I mean, I forgot. Zero Foxtrot, I think, is the brand. Some of you guys may be aware of who they are. That company, Zero Foxtrot, makes this flag. I didn't get my flag from Zero Foxtrot. I got it from some random like manufacturer or seller on Amazon. But yeah, they sell a lot of that cool like gun guy stuff and merch, morale patches and all that. I want to get some patches from I forgot who they are. Ridgeline. No, I might be saying something wrong. They're this one company where they have these flags that say like "Long live the infantry." I don't want to get the infantry one because I wasn't in the infantry, but I just like their art that they have. But it's yeah, they have like these skeleton. It's essentially like some soldiers, or like it'll either be like some soldiers or some Marines, and they'll be like in some tactical propped up position, and it's like they're skeletons that they're wearing all their tactical gear and clothing. I don't know. It's a cool design. I'm probably not serving it any justice the way I'm describing it. Bad Flag Company. I never heard of them, man. Opinion on old Joseph. I don't fuck with him. I could care less about his existence. Dude, Bad Flags Company. I'll check them out, man. Let me screenshot real quick so I can save that. All right, yeah, I'm gonna check them out later on, man. Oh, left hook. Who are you referring to? Who was the he in this scenario? Yeah, yeah. I'll make sure to check them out, man. I forgot who this. I think it was Ridgeline Defense, but then I'm probably completely wrong, and that probably is like a training company or something. So I'm gonna refer you guys to like a site for training. That wouldn't be a bad idea though. I forgot who it is. They're popular on Instagram. They have a big art page for some like gun guy type flags. Any of you guys ever heard of a trench grenade? She's kind of like a small, like micro gun tuber. I think he's either in North Carolina or South Carolina. I think he's in North Carolina, but I know he's somewhere out there. He's a drill sergeant in the army, but he makes YouTube videos about this kind of stuff too. Him and Risky Krisky are kind of like in the same category, even though Risky Krisky talks about some more wild stuff on here. Just kind of like more of my style, like the schizo rants and all that. So you're aware, you're familiar with trench grenade, Grand Thumb. I mean, yeah, obviously Grand Thumb. He's like the biggest gun tuber. What is he at? Like almost 3 million subs or more? I'm not even sure. No, I fuck with Grand Thumb though. Do I like PSA ARs? I love PSA. I mean, they're not the best AR, but they're definitely, in my opinion, the best affordable AR. I wouldn't go with anything more affordable than PSA. Do I play video games? No, I don't. I used to play video games and I just stopped. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I started up a game. I just work, do research, and post videos. Kentucky Ballistics, yeah. That situation that happened with Kentucky Ballistics with that 50 caliber explosion was crazy, and we're lucky he's still here. Yeah, I would recommend PSA to anybody. I'm in the midst. I'm trying to get my brother to buy a PSA right now. He keeps looking at other manufacturers and I'm like, just buy PSA. Stop thinking. Stop thinking about it. Click checkout and you'll be happy. I mean, it's not even depending on which one you buy. You could damn near buy like two complete uppers for the price of one, for a lot like compared to a lot of manufacturers, and they're still going to run. So like, I would highly recommend PSA to anybody who's looking to build an affordable AR. Left hook, no man. Brandon Herrera, shout out to AK Jesus. I think Brandon Herrera is one of the reasons I got into AKs, to be honest, like, with full honesty. I still need to train more with my AK though. I need to get it like a red dot or some type of. I'm mixed between if I want to do like a red dot magnifier setup for my AK or like an LPVO. I got an LPVO setup for my AR, and I'm really accurate with that thing out at distance, and I could even work like a speed with up close on 1x. But I don't know with the AK. The AK is already pretty heavy. Like the AK without any attachment already weighs. Niet rifle's fine. Right? The AK without any attachment already weighs as much as the AR with the LPVO, red dot, and a full mag in it. An empty AK already weighs that much. So if I throw an LPVO on it, that thing's just gonna be chunky. It's gonna be chugga. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I could work with it. Just got to lift some more in the gym. But I definitely won't set it up as much of like a adult Lego like I did the AR. I mean, it's not really meant for that anyways. But I wonder if my appeal got approved on TikTok or I'm still banned. They said I was banned for like 3 days. Last time they banned me for a week, and then they wanted a. This time they did 3 days, but I'm sure they probably approved the appeal because they didn't actually ban me for any legitimate reason. They just banned me because some snowflakes wanted to report me because they were mad because the stuff I was talking about, because they didn't like hearing about freedom and things like that. What is going on with this thing? Oh, there we go. But yeah, I got a picture of my AK on the community post if you guys want to check it out. Did a little wood stain on it. sanded down the furniture on the hand guards and the stock, and then restained it with some like barn red finish, and did a few layers of linseed oil over the span of like a week. Just added a layer each day. I think there's like probably I think I added a layer like every 12 hours, so there's probably like 5 to 10 layers of linseed oil on there, but it gave it like a good protective layer. Are you going to change the flag when June comes around? Uh, what do you mean by that, man? Yeah, I'm young enough. I just don't feel like joining. Thoughts on Wrangler Star? I think Wrangler Star is a legit dude. I mean, I like his content. I don't watch him too much, based off of a lot of the stuff he talks about isn't my um, this isn't my cup of tea. But a lot of things he talks about, I could agree with. I think sometimes he talks about things in an extreme manner just to get the message across, but I don't think he's necessarily fear mongering at all. I've seen a lot worse people on YouTube than him that are legitimate fear mongers. Like yeah, like Canadian Prepper. I'll just throw it out there. Yeah, he's a straight up fear monger. And he's talked about some legitimate information before, but he just posts stuff strictly for views at this point. He doesn't post anything that's truly productive or valuable to the prepper community anymore. And gets a lot of people talking about things that are unnecessary, sending people down a rabbit hole of a false reality. Yeah, man. I mean, if you plan on coming out here, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of rights out here. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit politics and stuff like that, but there's a lot of good people in America too, and a lot of fun to have and a lot of opportunity. Talk about it, Bennett. You can mention it. You're good. You said were you getting that left hook? And I'd buy both right now. I mean, I don't know if you guys got a Sportsman's, but Sportsman was doing a deal for like $2.99 for the Rock Island. I held out on it because I want to get like a Springfield or a Kimber because I'm kind of a gun snob sometimes. I won't lie, but I don't think it's a bad option if you just want to have a 1911 in the collection. Exactly. The world is ending. World War III. The nukes are in the sky. That's exactly what Canadian Prepper says every damn day, and it's gotten old over time. I can't watch any of his videos. City prepping was kind of the same for a while, and he still kind of does that, but he actually talks about some things that could be constructive and make progress towards the community versus just being fearful. Like, yes, are you talking about the eclipse and how everybody was panicked over bullshit? I heard some people. Yeah, I know a lot of people were thinking something was going to happen. I wasn't worried whatsoever. I mean, I had it in the back of my mind. I kept it in my thought process, but I wasn't like, oh my god, it's the day of the eclipse. What's going to happen? Like I wasn't worried like that, man. But I know a lot of people were. A lot of people got fear mongered into feeling that way. You said all eventually. Yeah, man. The Springfields are definitely some. I wanted to get the Springfield operator. I like that one. I shot it a couple times. It's a smooth 1911 right out the box. Got some nice sights. Oh damn. Bennett, what are you trying to get at, man? I don't know if I missed your question or what. Old Laricho or Jericho? What is that? Is that a 1911? I'm not even familiar with that, to be real. I want to get a Browning high power. Yeah, I scrolled up, man. I still don't know what you're trying to talk about. I've been seeing all your comments. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what you're trying to get at. Yeah, those are the high powers are like one of those old school guns that I like really like. Kind of like a CZ, but like better. The CZs are great guns too. They shoot really smooth. You had like a CZ with like a red dot on it. That thing would be butter. Wouldn't even have to try to hit. You should have ran away as far as possible, man. What do you mean trying to figure out what you should have done? You shouldn't have done shit, but fucking get out of Dodge. Fuck. Dude, I would have hit feet. I'd have been gone. Did Remington go out of business? I'm not sure, man. I heard they got bought out by another company. I'm forgetting who, but I heard they got bought out by somebody, and their production value went like way down. So that's the last thing I heard from Remington. But I think they still make some shotguns and stuff like that. Just they're not as popularized and sought after as they used to be. I got an 870 in my collection, but I know a lot of people. A lot of people. There was like a time where people loved the Remington 870s, and then there was a period where people were hating on them, and then it kind of came full circle. For me, it's a great shotgun, so I'm not worried about it. You said they stopped production at one of the facilities. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Trying to understand. Oh my god. I don't know if you're like being like if you're just fucking around, Bennett, just like trying to throw some jokes out there, or if like you're legitimate telling us a story. If so, man, I feel bad for you. Oh, that's not an experience I would ever want to be catching myself having. Yeah, I like the old wood furniture. The old wood furniture look shotguns too. Have the old like old school police cruiser look with like the little corn cob handle type of deal. Yeah, we used to have one of those type of shotguns in the family. I don't know what happened to it. Got lost in a boating accident. Oh my god, bro. You are wild, Bennett. old wood furniture too, is with shells. Yeah, man, I like rocking a shotgun, a little sidecar. I'll show you it. I'll show you it. I'm not gonna show you what the shotgun looks like. I'm not gonna get taken off of YouTube, but I'll show you the card on here real quick. All right, all right, all right. I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with these. So, yeah, this is a little shotgun card from S-Tech. You guys can get these. This the same people who make these shotgun cards make the triple magazine placard that I have the magazines in. They make the shotgun cards, and I keep one of these on each one of my pump actions or any defensive type of shotgun. Just gives you more ammo on the weapon system. I also have one of those stock shell holders, one of those little old school ones that you can get from Walmart or whatever. Gets the job done. I live in an apartment, man. It's like an apartment right on the outskirts of the city. So it's kind of like a little sweet medium, but it's still an apartment, so it sucks. What do I use for home defense? I use a handgun, man. Though it's not my only option. But yeah, I think I know what you're getting at, the over penetration conversation. That's why I think ammo selection is important. Have some good hollow points or some good fragmenting or quickly expanding ammunition. And if you're going to use a shotgun, be accurate and don't use double lock buck, or definitely never use slugs. I mean, to me, slugs are unnecessary on a human target, anyways. Anybody who's trying to take somebody down with a slug doesn't get ballistics, and like that's just overkill for a human. I mean, depending on the situation, it could be necessary. Say they're wearing body armor or behind barriers, but if you're just aiming at somebody, I'd rather hit them with 9 double aught buck pellets or like 21 um, number 4 buckshot. If I'm correct. Yeah, but it's just being creative with your shot type, whatever you choose for your home defense ammo, based off of where you live. But yeah, over penetration is definitely a consideration if you live in a urban environment. Yep, you definitely don't want to over penetrate those walls. Oh god, that didn't sound right. I swear, everything in the gun community has to sound like it's insinuating something else. Oh god. You have a 308 pump action. Damn, that sounds like some unique. I want to see something like that. Yeah, I've heard of like the old pump actions. Like I've seen a pump action 22 before, and some pump actions that are chambered in rifle rounds. Those are always kind of intriguing to me. They're just not something I would. They're not something I would rock because I don't think they're practical. I wouldn't really run it in a defensive capability or scenario. But it all depends. I'd rather have like a lever action if I was going to do something like that. Get like a lever action 30-30. Said it's older. Yeah, some of that stuff is just good for the the nostalgic value behind it. It may be like something in the family and have that sort of value because of that. So I see the reasoning on wanting something like that in the family. Definitely. Yep. I'm not too much of a collector myself, but I know I get why people like to collect. Some things I like to collect knives. So I like to have a bunch of different knives for different usages, mainly like pocket knives or small like fixed blade ones. But yeah, with guns, I'm more of like a. I got this quote from John Lovell. If any of you guys are familiar with the Warrior Poet Society, he made a video called "Protector versus Collector." It doesn't mean like if you're a collector, you're not a protector, but I just like to have guns that are more practical and kind of interchangeable in parts. But everybody has their own cup of teas. He said, "I like collecting various knickknacks and doohickeys." I used to, yeah, I used to collect. This is kind of embarrassing. I used to be like one of those. How do I describe it without sounding disrespectful to my old self? Fuck it. I used to be like one of those, not really skater kids, but like fashion kids who collected Supreme and shit, and like hype beast clothing in my teenage years. And then I quickly outgrew it and was like, "Fuck this." Now it's into guns, and I've been like that ever since. I mean, I don't think I'll really grow out of guns, but yeah, I used to be into like shit like that. I used to care about hella different the popular shoes, and I used to kind of resell clothing. So getting into a little side tangent of things that are not involving um, this channel or the subject of whatever. But yeah, I used to like resell shoes and stuff that had like a resale value. So I'd buy them for a dead stock price, and then I'd resell them for like 100 more to 200 more dollars. Swag era, right? Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it. Even though it was kind of after the swag era, based off my generation, but yeah, right, like right near there. Accidentally, I think all of us, regardless of what phase or what style it may have been, I think everyone had some type of embarrassing phase in their teenage years, or there's some part about them that they weren't the most proud of as they reached more maturity. Definitely. I mean, I think that's part of the process of growing up as a person. As a person, I was about to say as a person. Oh yeah. So yeah, your swag era was like my generation's. I don't really know what to call it. I don't even like saying my generation's because my generation is stupid as fuck. But it was like my generation's like fashion, like sneakerhead era, I guess you could say, where like everybody was like into reselling and whatever the most hyped up and trending clothing was, you wanted to get it and try to make a extra dollar off of it or wear it just because it was what was trending. Now I just wear like some boots and blue jeans and a flannel or something. I mean, I still got some of my stuff. I still have like some part of that old personality still sticks with me. Like all of the music I used to listen to when I was a teenager, I still listen to rock music and metal, but I added other stuff to my inventory. You said you grew up in that big bully brick iBox. I mean Xbox iBox. Naruto. I remember that shit. I'm still perplexed by that wild ass conversation you brought out of left field, Bennett. But yeah, you're definitely right about that, man. Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison could also be a good, healthy thing to do sometimes to a certain extent. I mean, it's kind of like when you're in a competition, you're comparing yourself to the other person's results. So that's not bad. That's some healthy comparison and competition. but don't compare yourself on a day-to-day basis. What was your first firearm? A Remington 870. I forget which model, but yeah, just a black synthetic stock 870. Yep, got that right when I turned 18. Like literally like the same week of my 18th birthday. I was like, "Yep, we're going out to get this." Uh, no, they won't show it. If you show anything where you're interacting with your weapons or anything that looks like a weapon on live, they'll kick you off. But I have video showing some of my weapons. If you guys want to look at them, I have a video titled "Top 5 Guns That Everyone Should Own" post SHTF. So I go over some guns that I own in there. So if you guys want to look at them, you could reference to some of the ones I've talked about, and you'll be able to see the shotgun I'm talking about. And I show my AR in there and my AK setup as well. My AK is not really a setup; it's just like a plain old little. It looks like a Iraqi AK. I mean, it's not really all beat up or nothing, but it doesn't have nothing on it. It's just iron sights and a Russian sling that I ordered just to look the part of an AK. What about pistol? Um, First pistol was a Glock 19. Yep. And then, well, yeah, I got my AR way before I got my pistol, obviously based off of because of age reasons and stuff. But yeah, I got my shotgun and then I built my AR out like a couple weeks later. Like I bought my shotgun and then I ordered all the parts. I didn't really build it. Like I just assembled it, I guess you could say, because people say they built it. If you made an AK, then you really built it. But yeah, I got all my parts from my AR and then I assembled it like the same month. So I got like my shotgun and my AR the same month by getting the lower. I did some little loophole where I was able to buy two of them in 1 month because where I'm at, you're not allowed to buy two in 1 month based off of some bullshit unconstitutional laws. Yep. I mean, you could get a SKS out here, man. I think if I'm remembering correctly, you said you were Canadian, some dude. You could get a SKS in America, though I wouldn't recommend a SKS if you were looking for your first gun, but it depends on where you're located. You said you're in Canada, so that might be one of the better options for you. In America, there's a lot better options than an SKS, and it's not really too affordable nowadays either with the pricing of the 7.62 by 39 ammunition. Yep. Galil Ace. Yeah, man, a Galil would definitely be nice to have. And things are expensive though, and hard to come by. Yeah, yeah, man. So I mean, if it's part of like Canadian culture, I mean, fuck it, get a SKS. It's kind of it's part of American culture to have an AR. So I rather have an AK than an SKS, but I don't know if you guys could have those out there. I just like the uses and the it's just more it has more practicality for an AK. The only thing is though, like given the current conflict in Europe with the Ukraine and everything, it's hard to get any of that ammo because a lot of the AK ammo that was available in the western part of the world was coming from Russia or Ukraine, directly from Russian and Ukrainian factories. So all of that is dried up completely now. Like you can't find any Russian steel case ammo. It's maybe sitting on someone's shelf somewhere, but it's because they bought it and they're the ones who stocked up on it. Most of it isn't flowing through the ammo market currently. So they're doing some American companies and some other companies outside of Russia and Ukraine are trying to do some start up new production for steel case, but it's not going too good. the prices for AK ammo have just it's more expensive to get AK ammo, I think, than AR ammo, which is insane because it used to be like the complete opposite. What are you saying, Bennett? You found some AK ammo on Gunbroker? Let me stand up real quick. A rifle build right after turning 18 is my goal. Yeah, man, that's a good goal. I mean, there's a lot of other goals to have, but yeah, that's as an American, yeah, get a rifle. Never know when they try to take them rights from you or try to make it harder to exercise them. Yeah, definitely get one. Just make sure you build something that you have a mindset of it being like you. How can I word this correctly? Make sure you think it out for the long term. Essentially, is what I'm trying to get at. So just do good research and think about what you're getting. Don't get anything that's too low quality or affordable based off of your budget. If you got to piece it out, do that, and just think about what your purposes are and what you may want to do. Like when I first got my AR, I got a little cheap red dot that was worth nothing. It was literally garbage. It was like an airsoft red dot, right? I only used it for like a couple weeks though, and then I upgraded to some quality optics. So I mean, you could do that just to get some shots down range, just to have some fun. But think about your optics and your setup and what you want to do with that rifle for long term. Do you want it for 0 to 300 yards, or do you want it from 0 to 600 yards to be an accurate engagement rifle? You know, and then you got to think about the barrel length, what type of optic you're going to use for that. Yeah, ammo selection and comes into play, and also the barrel twist. So, but if you're just looking to get your first one, I'll just get like a simple. I'll go with PSA or something. The Galil. Cruz, what do you mean, man? You meant the other way around. I think I missed your question about calibers. Were you talking about when you were referencing the CMMG stuff? And to answer your question on how many AR-15s someone should have or train with, as many as you want. I mean, you're gonna be better if you train on one rifle specifically. So, like, I mean, have as many as you want, but have a dedicated, have your have your go-to. You know, but it wouldn't be bad to like have a go-to rifle that you trained with a lot, and then build out another rifle that replicates that same rifle. That's what I'm currently in the process of doing. So I have a rifle that is my go-to. That if something happens, I'm going to use that rifle because I trust myself with my capabilities with that rifle more than any other weapon system in my hands that I own, right? So what I'm going to do is build out a duplicate of that rifle that's higher quality. So exactly that. I'm going to invest in like a higher quality barrel, something from like BCM, and then just build it out to higher standards, but the same setup. Man, tell me about it. And if that was the price for 5.56, I would be sitting on mountains of 5.56. I'd be like, we got it. We got to buy all of 5.56 today. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, guys, uh, my battery's getting low here, and I'm gonna work on some videos later on tonight. So I'm about to end the live up. But I appreciate you guys for joining and tuning in. I'll probably have some more videos coming out on YouTube either tomorrow or the next day, some shorts and stuff like that, and I may have some long form content coming to you guys. So make sure to check out those long form videos based on the prepping, guerrilla fighting, IFAKs, medical training, and just stuff covering all these topics, essentially. I think you guys will find it interesting and entertaining. But yeah, I'm going to end the live here, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in.